question I would ask you all to go back to your schools with. Do you have that Mr. Carthy figure? Do you have that person that's constantly on their case and constantly challenging and constantly supporting them as well? I think you've heard some really thought-provoking stuff this afternoon from Ben and you in conversation there. It certainly made me reflect hugely on where I've got things wrong throughout my career. Also where we've got things right, and I think what came out of Ben's input was that, there's a lot that was done well to support her. A lot of good stuff happened, but there are stuff that we can get better at in terms of how we work in a more integrated way and how we challenge some of the barriers that are there. So, Bev's kindly agreed to answer some questions from the audience. So does anybody have a question for Bev? Do it all rush at once. Neil.
Hi Bev. A lot of schools, there's this feeling that when you've got looked after children in the school, it should be kept kind of secret, that it's really personal information, and the fewer people that know about it, the better. Do you feel that's where it should be, or would you like more people to know that young people are looked after, so they can understand what they're going through?
See, a lot of young people think it's an embarrassment being in care, but what people don't realise that being in care is not your fault. But if the younger people knew that we were in care, they wouldn't ask all these questions to why we get out at certain times of the month, why we get out through, like, to go to panels, because they don't know where we're going, they just know we're getting out of school. They're seeing it as a wee bit unfair on them, that they have to stay in school. But then again, it's up to the young person if they want it disclosed throughout the school.
Hi, I'm Ruth Jeffries. I'm the senior social worker within the care team. I just think the bit that I want to add to, just trying to work out, is that the best way around who was now? The bit to add to that was Beth's comment. It really is a very individual situation about, how much young people want other people to know. Some young people want to be able to manage the situation. I actually kind of keeping it secret, if you like, not spreading it too wide. Others really do want to know. And we've got lots of systems, certainly as young people progress through into college and those sorts of things. There's one of those tick boxes on the form about are they a care leaver. And what I will routinely say to young people is, use that box as you want to. It can get you some advantages, and if you don't want people to know, then just don't tick it. So I think it's a really individual thing. Some of it depends on why young people have been looked after and what that's been like for them. So yeah.
Bev, I know you've said that relationships and at secondary school, that was obviously your biggest thing that made the biggest difference. Was there anything in primary schools, I'm thinking, it could be secondaries as well, but was there any wee small things that happened that you look back and you think, gosh, that was just one wee thing that was done there, but it really made a big difference to me?
Well, no, not really, because the inconsistency of primary school, because I was in Highfield from primary 1 to primary 3, Central School from primary 3 to primary 7, and then St Geraldine for the end of my primary 7. But I didn't really realise I was a looked after young person then, so I didn't really I didn't really know what was going on around me then, sort of thing, so don't really know how to answer your question, sorry.
Can I go up with that? Okay. Can I put on the mic a minute?
No.
I don't quite want to be an echo every time for Bev, but I know, having worked with a number of schools, particularly primary schools, as a social worker in this area, there's actually quite a lot of Mr. Carthews out there. They kind of go by different names, and some of them are Mrs. So-and-so, and I can't even remember everybody's name. But I remember working with one primary teacher. We lad had been in lots of bother at school, and she kind of had him in the classroom, and I was there as a social worker to come and do whatever social workers are meant to do at those times. And she said to him, we're going to fill your time doing so many good things and the things you really can achieve that you won't have time for all those bad things. Now that sticks out in my mind. But I'm sure, in actual fact, that in most of the primary schools and the secondary schools in Moray, we've got teachers who recognise that. It's that bit about reminding kids the things they can do, the things they can achieve, and that gives them the hope to kind of be able to get over the other things.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Paul.
Hi Dave. You talked a lot about getting into trouble. Have you reflected and come to any conclusions about why you got into so much trouble?
I think the reason getting in so much trouble is because I was a very confused young person with mental health. It's only been recently that I've been diagnosed with mental health, but there wasn't the right support. Like, I'll give an example, it's quite personal, but as an example you need to hear, like with my behavioural problems in first year, it was because I'd lost a sister of mine through suicide, and the lassie had said that I deserved to lose my sister. So because I didn't have the right support, I seen red and thought the only way to sort this was to hit her.
Any other questions for Ben? Or real questions, Dave? Challenging afternoon. And I think a lot of other people, when I was thinking about when I heard Ben at the Creative Conference event, and then when she shadowed me on the 19th of February, I mean, she literally did shadow me the only place I got to go to the toilet. And that was the day of the early years conference, and I was doing the vote of thanks at the end, and of course, throughout the day, I'm just scribbling notes to try and remember at the end to thank people. And Ben said to me, I'm coming up the stage with you, I'm shadowing you. And she did. So in front of hundreds of people up on the stage at the college, and I've got a little sidekick with me, keeping me right. It was absolutely tremendous day. And then there's a lot of people, I think, perhaps some of your colleagues that could value hearing from Bev, and she is available for speaking engagements, and I'm willing to act as her agent and take a hit. But I also think some of our elected members of the council, and we saw you're here today as an elected member, which is fantastic. I think there's some powerful things in there, for some powerful messages that Bev has that I think a lot of people could value hearing. So, can I thank you again, Bev, for your time, and thanks to you and to Ruth as well.